Man City just absolutely demolished Man United and popped them off the park. Arsenal just put up one of the most dominant performances in recent whiles, putting 5 past Sheffield United. Spurs picked up yet another win and yet another good performances and continue to get valuable points. And Liverpool yet again show their attacking prowess with all those forwards and all those goals, but more importantly, they got themselves a clean sheet. They shored up their defense and didn't let anything past them. And we, for a long time now, have got 4 teams all poised to make a title bid and challenge for the title. But yet, with all that going on, and I know it's only been 10, 11 games into the season, but with all of that, the talk of the town is still Manchester United. But, I obviously understand that. Of course, the talk of the town is going to be Manchester United because they put up another terrible performance. And where have the Manchester United standards gone? They haven't been there for about 12 years. But why are we still talking about Manchester United? We have all these positives that we can take from this weekend in the league. And there are so many other things that could be talked about. But I guarantee everything that you'll see throughout the course of the week, throughout, the next couple weeks, really, till the next game Manchester United even play, the talk of the town and everything that you see online will be about Manchester United. And I don't want to do that because I think we should take away some of the positives. Now, of course, Manchester United need to be talked about, but, things like this title race that's going on that has 4 teams that are all poised and within 3 points of each other and look very, very capable. All 4 of them look very, very capable of winning the title. I think that should be talked about more. And some of these bright gems around the Premier League, like the Aston Villas, and teams like Luton picking up points that we thought would never will. But yet, we find ourselves still talking about Manchester United. But look, before we go on to actually talk about that title race and really dive into what those 4 teams can do to go and challenge for the title or win the title, I think we do have to talk about Manchester United. And I'll only give them a minute or two, because I think that's all I can really give them. I could talk about Man United for ages, 10, 15, 20 minutes. The list goes on and on and on with them, the problems that they have and everything. But I don't think that's what we should be talking about. So we'll give them a minute or two because I think we still do have to, it's the main topic from the weekend. So we will still talk about it. This league deserves a better Manchester United. No matter how much, no matter how funny it is to see Man United lose week in and week out and problems with them and the whole toxic environment around them, although it is funny, look, if we're being serious, even as a neutral and even as, a fan of the other side, this league deserves a good Manchester United. The league is in a better place when teams like Arsenal and United are at their best. This team is built on those teams. Man United being the hallmark of success in England for the last 20, 30 years. If you're a team and you're thinking, if you're aspiring to be something, you would look towards a Manchester United. How dominant Manchester City have been in the last 10 years. Every single time they do something great, something incredible, guess what? It always gets compared to Fergie's Manchester United. And that's the legacy that they built for themselves, and they deserve to be up the top. They deserve to be good in the Premier League at least. Look, this calamitous, clown show that they are right now, circus, it's not good. It's not good for the league. Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, all those teams need to be up there and at their best. That's what this league deserves. The league is in a better place when Manchester United are in a better place. And, we had the same problems with Arsenal for the last, 8-9 years where they weren't in a good place either. And, as they've started to come up, we've seen that the league has gotten a little bit more interesting. Now, all of a sudden, we have 4 teams fighting for a title. And I think that's a product of Arsenal becoming better and Arsenal coming back to their roots, where they should be, up the top of the Premier League. And I think we'll see a similar thing if Man United come back. I think the product of this league, and this league will be 10, 15 times better if Manchester United are good. They're the biggest club in England. They're the biggest club possibly in the world. They deserve to be good. The league is in a better place if they're good. So look, let's step away from Manchester United and get back to the positives. Let's get back So what's good about the league? Because right now we have 4 teams challenging for a title. Yes, it's 10 games in, I'm saying over and over again, but Manchester City, Liverpool, Spurs, and Arsenal are all poised to make their bids for a title. And they're all well within their rights to do so. So, let's explore those 4 teams and let's see what they can do and what they have to do to go and achieve that goal. And let's start with an easy one. Because let's be honest, Manchester City basically don't have to do anything, right? They're the best team in the league. They're possibly the best team in Europe. If they play the way they play, they will easily walk away with the league. They don't have to worry about anything that's behind them. They don't really have to worry about injuries that much. I mean, they don't even have Kevin De Bruyne, the best player in the last 6 years. And they're doing fine. And so, in terms of Manchester City, I don't think they need to worry. They play the way they're playing. And if they continue on this route and the teams behind them will continue to drop points, it's easy for them to win the league. There's a reason Manchester City are the easiest argument to put forward to win the league, right? The way they play, the players that they have, forget about Manchester City. Let's move on to some of the more interesting cases. And I'll start with Tottenham Hotspur. Because for me, they need to have a Leicester-like season to win the league. Yes, they keep picking up points, but for me, every single Spurs game that comes up, I'm just going to think, is this going to be the game they drop the points? Is this the game that they put up the stinker? Because at some point it's going to happen, right? That's what was happening in that Leicester season. Everybody was looking and saying, when are they going to drop off? When are they going to drop off? When are they going to drop off? They never dropped off, and inevitably they won the league. But I think that's the same thing with Spurs now. I think we're going to just keep looking at them. You're going to drop points here. You're going to drop points here. And they might just continue, those players, if they're healthy, maybe, just maybe. But as I said, it's going to take the teams around them. It's going to take City having bad performances and having an abnormal season. Arsenal having, bad performances and not putting together wins that they have to. Liverpool as well. I think all 3 of those teams need to drop points at an abnormal rate for Tottenham to win the league. But at the same time, Tottenham need to be playing as well as they possibly can and being absolutely 100% healthy. Because I don't think Tottenham have any chance of winning this league if they are not 100%, and I mean 100% healthy for the whole season. If they are not that, they will drop points, absolutely guaranteed. I just see there's no way it's going to happen. It's going to bite me in the back, but I just see no way Tottenham could win the league or do anything close to it if they start to pick up injuries. One James Bloody Maddison injury derails their whole season. Let's be honest here. He is the hub for this whole team. He is their Harry Kane. If he goes, they go. They fall like a deck of cards. Look, Tottenham need the teams around them to lose, and Tottenham need to be playing as well as they possibly can to win the league. They, for me, have the lowest chance out of those 4, and easily so. Look, they may be top of the table, they may be playing good football right now, but I think that will come back to reality in the future games, and we'll see them drop off because of all the things that I just mentioned, how almost everything has to go right for them. But there's still a chance for them. It could happen. It could definitely happen. It's definitely not out of the realm of possibility for Tottenham. But Arsenal are probably second to City or Liverpool. It depends, but it's probably Arsenal right now the way they're playing. They just put 5 past Sheffield. They look good. They may have a couple of injuries. Thomas Partey, Gabriel Jesus, that's going to be the problem with them as well. They've already picked up a couple of injuries. But maybe, picking up those injuries in the early part of the season, lets them be healthy towards the end of the season and, be healthy and being playing as well as they can towards the end instead. But there is no doubt that Arsenal can win this league as long as they are locked the hell in. Because we saw last season, they weren't, their mentality shattered, and they just crumbled under the pressure. And I don't think they've learned. I don't think they've learned from those experiences. And I think they are susceptible to those same kinds of mistakes. So if they are mentally there and they are locked in come April, come May, and they, you know, more than beating the Man Cities, the Liverpools, and the Spurs, the teams around them, it's beating the teams below them and they're beating the teams that they should be beating. You know, not bottling games against teams like, I've said this over and over again. I've made this argument so many times, but you get what I mean. As long as Arsenal beat the teams that they should be beating and they're mentally locked in and they, you know, they play good football, right? The way they play throughout 38 games of the season, as long as they're locked in and they're mentally there, the way they play, they are good enough. They are toe-to-toe with Man City. They will go on to win the league, right? But the thing that separates those two teams is mentally. Look, talent-wise, they're right there. Both of them. Arsenal, Man City, they're right there. Man City, though, they have the experience. They have the coach, especially Pep, knows just... In a 38-game season, Pep Guardiola is inevitable. And he just finds a way no matter what. And I think for Arsenal, that's the thing they need to learn. They need to pick up that mentality. They need to pick up that ability to lock in game after game after game. You know, you can't be here for one game and not there for the next. They just need to continue that for 10, 12, 15 games in a row. And then I could see them go on to win the league. So for Arsenal, it's mentality, it's being locked in, it's being there come to crunch time of the season, not crumbling. You have your big players step up. Bukayo Saka not dwindling coming to the end of the season. Instead, his performance pick up when you come towards the end of the season. You know, the teams, Martin Odegaard, the players around them, William Saliba, Arsenal, being locked in, being there, they could do it. They're playing well, Liverpool are. I mean, up front, they're playing, if we just took the attack, they're the best team in the league. They have so much depth. They're all incredible. They're all borderline world-class or world-class talent. The front line of Liverpool, you know, Luis Diaz, Jota, Salah, Darwin Nunez, Harvey Elliott sometimes goes up into that front line. They have plays upon plays upon plays in that attacking line, but the problem is not there. You know, Liverpool probably outscores any team in the league, really, but it's with their defense. Can they shore up that defense? Can Virgil van Dijk come back into form? Can he come back into maybe not the levels he was when they were winning Champions Leagues, but, you know, like to the levels when they were fighting for the quadruple 2 years ago, sorry. If he comes back to that sort of level, Kanate stays healthy and they don't have to bring in Matip and Gomez instead. Those two are there, you know, Andy Robertson, Trent are all there. I think that defensively they can shore themselves up. You know, their midfield, that number 6 position is still a little shaky when they're playing the bigger teams and they're playing the teams that actually press them, because McAllister tends to lose the ball in that position. And he doesn't really have the nous and the know-how of some of the other sixes around the league that you look at in the top teams like a Declan Rice or a Rodri. And so that's probably the weak link in that whole Liverpool system. You know, that defense, it all starts with the 6 really. You know, if he breaks down, then that whole defense breaks down. So look, if that can be shored up, they will score goals upon goals upon goals. Will never be a problem for Liverpool. So if they can, you know, well and truly shore up that defense, I think Liverpool could go on winning streaks like they were 2 to 3 years ago, where they would, on the same, you know, tier as City, where they'd win 10, 12, 13 games in a row, or they'd go unbeaten 15, 20 games in a row. I think especially if that defense shows up, because right now it's kind of, can we outscore the other team? You know, they either concede first, they have to kick in a gear, or it takes to the second half for Liverpool to actually, you know, go on and really find themselves and play themselves into the game. If they can start to do that, you know, 5 minutes in and 10 minutes in instead, and that defense shows up, they start picking up more clean sheets. As I said, Van Dijk, Kanate are healthy and playing well. Look, if they start to pick up clean sheets and the defense starts to shore up, they might become the best team in the league because of how well that attack is. But I don't think that can happen over the course of just this season. Maybe next season. Because next season, I think Liverpool could be absolutely terrifying and it would be petrifying to play them. But right now, I think it's still taking time. There's growing pains, you know, between that midfield still. They look fluid. They look good. And, you know, luckily some of the teams around them, like Man City and Arsenal, aren't, you know, off to their best performances already. And they aren't in the form of their, you know, normal selves. So I think Liverpool have looked sneakily good. But if they can really bring it together in this season, they might have the best, they might have more of a chance than Arsenal for me, because they have the experience, because they have the coach, because they've done it before, and they've done it against the same team. They've done it against Man City. They do it. But I know it's crazy. Could it be Liverpool and Arsenal? Could Man City drop off? Could that 3-year reign finally come to an end? Could this, Man City finally drop the hell off? Could it be Liverpool and Arsenal instead? I think that would be very interesting as well. I think Arsenal would get absolutely crushed no matter what. But Liverpool and Arsenal could be very, very interesting if Man City drop off. Maybe there's a couple injuries, something bad happened. Man City drop off. I think Liverpool and Arsenal could be a very, very interesting title race. More than probably Man City and Arsenal, or Man City and Liverpool, because City would probably go on to win the league in any of those situations, really. So don't count out a Liverpool and Arsenal, 1 and 2 battle up the top. Probably won't happen, let's be honest. I don't think those teams are at the levels of Man City quite yet. So we'll wait. But Liverpool, defense, shored up. They bring it together in this season. But that's it. 4 teams, 1 title race, 1 Premier League trophy. They're all going to be fighting it out, hopefully, come the end of the season. And hopefully Man City don't win 18 games in a row and win the league easily. Now, I'm a Man City fan, so look, I know it's weird and I know it doesn't sound right that I want a title race, but don't be fooled. Come the end of the title race, I still want City to win, but having a title race is just fun. Having 4 teams battling it out, could you think of anything better? 4 teams, all 4 teams, Liverpool, Arsenal, City and Spurs, all of them fighting. It'd be good, wouldn't it? Don't kid yourself. It'd be absolutely incredible. Having all 4 of those teams fighting for the title come April, come May, would be good for the league. It'd be great for the league. It'd be the best thing possible for the league. So, hopefully we get a title race. Hopefully we have all 4 of those teams competing in the title race, or at least 3 of them. At least 2 of them. Just a title race at the end of the day would be great. Let's have something at least.